put on way too much highlighter today. I mean, for my preferences, I don't know what came over me where I was just like, that's a normal amount. I mean, if you like a lot of highlighter, props to you. I'm just not used to my face being this shiny. But let's just get to the video. This is my final monthly beauty tracker of 2020 for December. This is basically where I count up all of the empties I have for each month: makeup, beauty, skincare, hair care. And not only that, but I also keep track of what I bought, what I decluttered, as well as the monetary values for all those items that I either bought or used up, and then I compare the numbers for each side. And my ultimate goal is to spend less than I buy. And so I'll be going through a lot of overall total numbers. I'll try not to be too overwhelming with all the numbers I'm spouting, but let's just get into the empties. There are very few this month. I basically finished up most of the things I needed and wanted to in the past few months. So this month I didn't even wear makeup that often, honestly, and there weren't that many things that I thought I could finish up anyways. So let's just get started. Now, if you have seen my yearly empties video, then you will know my one and only makeup empty for this month is one of the most exciting empties I think of this year, to be honest. It is the Wet n Wild Quad in Petalette. It used to have bunch of purples in here, and this is the first eyeshadow palette where I completed every single shade inside of it. And I know it's just a quad, but I might low-key keep this because I'm really proud. I finished like different pans, but I've never finished an entire palette just and had it in its entirety at the end. I think I'm gonna keep this, at least for now, just to feel proud of myself. This only cost $2.99, so nothing that revolutionary in terms of helping my numbers, but it's still significant in my eyes. Now, moving on to body care, I have this guy. This is the Alba Botanica Very Emollient Body Lotion in the unscented original formula, and this costs about $13.99 from wherever I got it, and I like this lotion. I like how big it is, but I still use it up in about 2 months. I go through lotion so quickly. The air here is so dry. Doesn't matter the time of year, but especially in the winter. So I just want to go through lotionless, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Now, my last two empties, like I said, there weren't that many, are not as interesting. This is just dental floss that costs around $1.99. I think is the Walgreens brand, but it looks really beat up and you can't even tell. And then this is the Jason Power Smile toothpaste. I thought it was fine. It was kind of a weird consistency and taste. I don't think I would buy it again, but this cost about $3.29 for when I bought it. I believe that it cost more, but I bought it at like TJ Maxx, so it was on sale. But yeah, these are just other empties. I really didn't finish up that much this month. Moving on to the things that I bought, I did buy a replacement of that same lotion, cost the same amount. I'm already making my way through it, so that's just how it is. And the only other things I bought were actually makeup. I know I'm on a no-buy, but I was struggling with this current concealer I had from e.l.f., their Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. It looks fine on camera, but in reality it's a bit too dark and peachy for me, so it kind of works as an under eye color corrector, but it makes me look way too peachy and a little bit gray sometimes. I don't know if it's the undertone that's wrong, but it's definitely too dark. So I bought two concealers from NYX. That is their Born to Go concealer. I got the shade Pale and Fair. I'm currently using the shade Pale because I thought it'd be good to mix with the really dark one. I got one that I thought would be too light for me because then I could mix it. This one I have not started yet. I think I like it. It's definitely a thicker consistency, but I think it has decent coverage. Again, I haven't used it on its own, so I'm not exactly sure. These both cost $6.30. I bought them on sale, and I don't know what they originally cost, but that's how much I bought them for. My NYX purchase came with this free Bear With Me Cannabis Sativa blotting paper. I don't know if I'll use this because I don't have oily skin. I probably will end up giving this to a friend sometime in the future. But yeah, this came with it. It didn't cost anything. I technically bought 4 things this month. I know I'm only supposed to buy replacements, but that concealer, I tried to make it work and it just did not look good on me. Now for things that I have decluttered this month, they are basically all inside of this container. If you want to see specifically which eyeshadows I decluttered, you can watch the Franken video. I will link that below, but I also destroyed some things, and it was mostly like the grayish blacks over here that all looked the same, but also some shades that I just thought I wouldn't get use out of, and they were really underwhelming. I also decluttered these two blushes and these two highlighters because the colors were wrong or the formulation was meh, and then I Franken the bronzer, and I still did try out this blush. This is very difficult to hold up, but I also decluttered these lip glosses because they were like stringy. And I was not about that. I tried Franken them together, and then I realized the consistency was disgusting. In my mind, I've decluttered these glitters. I didn't feel like digging them out because I just didn't feel like it, but they are not a part of my collection in my mind. They're just here because I have this whole container. Eventually, I would like to use up some pans and repress these into different pans so I can get rid of this, but I'm fine with keeping this just for now, but eventually this will be gone. So I decluttered a lot of things in here, and there was one more thing that I decluttered this month that I didn't want to. Unfortunately, one of my dear friends has fallen. It was a depotted eyeshadow from a Milani 6-pan palette, and I used it as a highlighter because it was like this pale champagne gold, and when I was doing my inventory video and taking pictures, it ended up falling on the ground and shattering, and I couldn't save it. So it was a very sad event. That is something I decluttered this month. I'm still kind of annoyed that I dropped it, but it's fine. It's fine. As for my totals this month, I ended up buying 4 things and then using up 4 things, so seems pretty chill. I'm just gonna be reading things off because it's too difficult to memorize these numbers. I'm not that talented. The total amount of money I used up was $22.26, and then I bought a total of $26.89. So my monthly money mark is actually a positive number of $4.63. I'm not too mad that I spent more than I used up just because I didn't buy anything unnecessary. I just bought concealers and a lotion. Now, for my yearly totals, which is the most exciting part of this in my eyes, I used up a total of $553.69 worth of beauty products. Now this is encompassing all beauty products, and I bought a total of $357.95. Now if you want to know how much I used up just in makeup, I will link my total year of makeup empties down below, but this is for everything, so I'm not going to talk about those numbers here. So I used up a total of 103 items. I can't believe I used up over 100 items this year. And then I bought 70, which is kind of high. My yearly money mark is negative $195.74. So I used up almost $200 more than what I bought. So overall, I consider this year a success. I have been on a no-buy for 3/4 of the year, so it makes sense that I did well, but I'm still proud of myself. But I am going to end this series this year and change it up next year. I am not going to go over any non-makeup empties next year unless if you guys are really interested, but honestly, the things that I use up, I'm not an avid buyer of skincare, body care, hair care. I just buy what works for me or what's cheapest, and then I just keep buying it. It's not that interesting. So I plan on every couple months updating you on my makeup empties and then doing a yearly makeup empties again. But I hope that you enjoyed this series and maybe it helped you think of ways that you could be more mindful or strategic about your purchases, or just how you can keep track of things. I just really like looking at numbers, so if you like that too, then I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know if you did something similar and how you did this past year, and if you aren't a no-buy, also I'd love to hear that too. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!